Hey, English learners, welcome back to the Beyond Words podcast, your cozy little place to learn easy English through real, everyday conversations. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Daniel. Welcome back, friends.
Daniel, I want to ask you something before we start.
Okay, go ahead.
When you were learning English, did you have someone to practice with?
Honestly, not really. Most of my friends spoke the same language as me, so when I wanted to practice English, I looked around and there was nobody.
Just you and your textbook.
Just me and my textbook. And the textbook didn't talk back.
The textbook was not a great conversation partner.
Very quiet. Never disagreed with me.
I had the same experience. I remember sitting at home thinking, I study English every day, but I never actually use it. I never speak it with a real person.
And that feeling is so frustrating because you know the words, you studied the grammar, but without someone to talk to, it all stays locked inside.
Like a door with no key.
Yes, all the English is in there, but you can't get it out because there's nobody on the other side of the door.
And today, that is exactly what we want to talk about, because so many English learners feel this way.
They say, I need a friend to speak English with. And they are right. That friend makes such a difference.
But finding that friend or that practice partner feels hard, especially if you don't live in an English-speaking country, especially if nobody around you is learning English.
So today, we are going to talk about how to find your English practice people. Real ways, practical ways, things you can do this week.
Not someday, this week.
And before we dive in, if this podcast is helping you, please like this episode, subscribe to Beyond Words, and share it with a friend who also says, I wish I had someone to practice English with.
Because maybe that friend is exactly the practice partner you've been looking for.
Right there, already in your life.
Let's go.
Okay, Jessica, let's start with the honest truth. Why do people need a practice partner? Why isn't studying alone enough?
Good question, because studying alone is very important. Don't misunderstand. Reading, listening, vocabulary, all of that builds your foundation.
The foundation, like the ground floor of a building.
Yes, but speaking, actually using English with another person, that is a different skill, a completely different skill.
It's like the difference between reading about riding a bicycle and actually riding a bicycle.
Exactly. You can read every book about cycling. You can understand balance, pedaling, steering perfectly in your head.
But the first time you sit on the bicycle,
You fall.
you fall, because knowing and doing are very different things.
And speaking English with a real person, there's pressure. There's a real moment. Someone is waiting for your answer.
And your brain has to find the words right now, not later, not when you're ready, right now.
That pressure is not bad. It is actually what makes you grow faster.
Yes, it is uncomfortable, but discomfort is the feeling of growing.
Think about it like exercise. When you lift something heavy, it is uncomfortable. Your muscles burn.
But that burning is the muscle getting stronger.
Yes, the real-time pressure of speaking with someone, that is the English burning. That is your fluency getting stronger.
So you cannot become a fluent speaker only by studying alone. At some point, you need another person.
You need the bicycle, not just the book about bicycles.
So how do we find that person? Let's get into the tips.
Tip number 1, start with the people already around you.
This one surprises people because they think nobody around me speaks English.
But wait, that is not exactly the same as nobody around me is learning English.
Oh, that's different.
Very different. Think about your friends, your classmates, your colleagues. Is there anyone, even one person, who's also trying to improve their English?
Maybe they never said it out loud, but maybe they're sitting at home with the same problem as you.
Exactly. They're also looking around thinking, I wish I had someone to practice with.
And you are also looking around thinking the same thing, but neither of you said anything.
Two people with the same problem standing next to each other in silence.
Yes. So the first tip is ask. Just ask.
It can be very simple. You can say to a friend, hey, I'm trying to improve my English. Do you want to practice together sometimes? Maybe just 10 minutes a week?
10 minutes a week, that is not a big commitment. Most people will say yes to 10 minutes.
And 10 minutes a week is better than 0 minutes a week.
Much better. And 10 minutes often becomes 20 minutes because when you start talking, it's hard to stop.
I had this experience. I asked a colleague once, very casually, "Do you want to try speaking English together at lunch sometimes?" I expected her to say no.
What happened?
She said, "Oh, thank goodness. I've been wanting to ask you the same thing for weeks."
She was waiting too.
Waiting and hoping, both of us, for weeks, because neither of us asked.
So the lesson is, someone near you might already be your practice partner. They're just waiting for one of you to open the door.
Be the one who opens it. It costs nothing, and the worst answer you get is no thanks, and that is okay too.
Tip number 2, find an online language exchange partner.
Yes, this is one of the best things about the internet. Geography is no longer a barrier.
You don't need to live near an English speaker. You can connect with one anywhere in the world.
And language exchange is a beautiful idea. You help someone learn your language, they help you learn English.
So both people give something, both people get something.
It feels fair, it feels balanced, and it builds a real relationship, not just a transaction.
Where can people find language exchange partners?
There are several good apps and websites. Tandem is very popular. HelloTalk is another great one. Speaky, Slowly, italki, there are many options.
And they're free or very low cost.
Yes, you create a simple profile. You say, "I speak this language, I want to learn English," and the app connects you with someone who speaks English and wants to learn your language.
Like a perfect match.
A language match. Yes. And then you message, you voice call, you video call, you practice together.
But I want to be honest, the first conversation can feel awkward.
Very awkward. I remember my first language exchange call. I had prepared what I wanted to say. I practiced my introduction. And then, the moment we started, my brain went completely blank.
All the preparation gone.
Gone. I just said, "Hello, I'm Jessica. I like things."
I like things. Very specific, very fluent.
My partner was very kind. She laughed and said, "Me too. I also like things." And somehow from there, we had a real conversation.
Because the other person is also nervous. They're also learning. You're both in the same boat.
Same boat means you're both in the same situation, going through the same experience together.
And that shared nervousness, it actually brings people together.
Yes, you laugh about it, you relax, and the real practice begins.
Create a profile. Send one message to one person.
Just one message. That is the only goal for this week. One message. Because the longest journey starts with a single step, and the best English friendships start with a single hello.
Tip number 3, join an English-speaking online community.
Yes, this is different from a language exchange. A community is a group, not just two people.
And there are so many English communities online now. Discord servers for English learners, Facebook groups, Reddit communities, YouTube comment sections.
Wait, YouTube comment sections?
Yes, think about it. Every English learning YouTube channel has a comment section full of English learners from all over the world.
People who are all doing the same thing, watching the same video, learning the same things. And they write comments in English, and they reply to someone else's comments in English.
And suddenly, you're having a real English conversation with a real person about real things.
And you can do it from your phone, in your pajamas, at any time. The Pajama English community, very accessible.
Very comfortable, but also very real.
And Discord is especially good for this. Many English learning Discord servers have voice channels where members meet at a set time and just talk in English about anything.
Like a virtual cafe where everyone speaks English.
Yes, you can join and just listen at first. Then when you feel ready, you speak.
There's no pressure to speak immediately. You can warm up, get comfortable, and then join the conversation when you feel ready.
And the people there, they understand because they're also learners. They also remember being nervous.
Join one online English community this week. Write one comment, reply to one person. Just start the conversation.
Tip 4. Use social media to practice in English.
Oh yes, this one is free, and most people are already using social media every day.
But they use it in their own language.
Yes, so the tip is switch some of it to English.
How? Follow English accounts, English learning pages, English podcasts, English creators who talk about things you like: cooking, travel, fitness, music, whatever you enjoy. So the content is in English, but it's about something you already love.
So the content is in English, but it's about something you already love.
Exactly. And then engage with that content in English. Leave a comment in English. Ask a question in English. Respond to someone else's comment in English.
And slowly, you build an online English presence. People start to know you, they reply to you, and those replies are real English conversations.
I have a friend who found his best English practice partner through Instagram. He commented on an English learning account. Someone replied. They started messaging.
And now?
Now they do a weekly video call to practice English together, every week for 2 years.
2 years from one Instagram comment.
One comment. That's all it started with. And that is the magic of putting yourself out there, even in a small way. You never know who is on the other side.
Someone is always on the other side, waiting for that one comment.
So tip 4, use social media in English. Follow English accounts about things you love. Leave one comment today in English.
Just one, but make it real, make it honest, something you actually think or feel about the content.
Because real comments get real replies, and real replies become real conversations.
Tip number 5, talk to yourself and make it a conversation.
I know, it sounds strange, but hear me out.
Okay, I'm listening.
When you have nobody to practice with, you can practice with yourself, but not just repeating vocabulary, a real conversation, in your head or out loud.
What does that look like?
For example, you are making breakfast and you narrate what you are doing in English. I'm making eggs. I'm adding a little salt. I like my eggs soft. I don't like them too hard.
A breakfast commentary.
Yes. Or you are walking outside and you describe what you see. There's a big tree. The sky is very blue today. That dog looks very happy.
The dog English commentary.
Exactly. And it feels silly at first. Very silly.
I tried this. I was walking to the supermarket and I started narrating in my head. I am walking down the street. It is a little cold. I need to buy tomatoes and bread. I forgot my bag again.
A very real and very relatable commentary.
Very real. And after a few minutes, I forgot it was practice. I was just thinking in English, naturally.
That is the goal. When English becomes your thinking language, even sometimes, everything changes.
Because language is not just for talking to others, it is for thinking, for processing the world.
And when English becomes part of how you process the world, it becomes part of you.
And another version of talking to yourself is practicing conversations before they happen.
Oh, yes, this is so useful.
You know you have a situation coming, maybe a meeting in English, or a call with an English-speaking client, or just a conversation you want to have.
So you practice it first. In your room, alone. You play both sides of the conversation.
You ask the question, and then you answer it. You say the problem, and then you respond to it.
Like a rehearsal before a performance.
Yes, actors rehearse, musicians rehearse, sports players rehearse. Why not English speakers?
Exactly. And the more you rehearse, the less nervous you feel when the real moment comes.
Because your brain already knows this conversation. It already went through it.
So, tip 5, practice with yourself. Narrate your day. Rehearse important conversations. Think in English, even for 5 minutes.
Your own brain is always available. No scheduling needed, no app required. Just you and English, wherever you are. Okay, let's slow down now and look at some useful words and phrases from today.
Yes, these words will help you talk about language learning, connection, and practice in natural English.
First phrase, practice partner. A practice partner is someone you regularly practice a skill with. I found a great English practice partner online. Or, my practice partner and I meet every week to speak English together.
Next, language exchange. A language exchange is when two people help each other learn their languages. I do a language exchange with a friend from England. She helps me with my language. I help her with English. Or language exchange is a free and natural way to improve your speaking.
Next word, barrier. A barrier is something that stops you or makes something difficult. Distance is no longer a barrier. You can find English partners online. Or shyness can be a barrier to speaking, but practice helps.
Next, in the same boat. This is an idiom. If two people are in the same boat, they are in the same situation, usually a difficult one. We were both nervous about speaking. We were in the same boat. Or, don't worry, most English learners are in the same boat as you.
Next, put yourself out there. This phrase means to try something even though it feels scary or uncomfortable, to make an effort to connect with others. You need to put yourself out there and start conversations. Or putting yourself out there online helped me find my practice partner.
Next, engage. To engage with something means to actively participate, not just watch or read, but respond and interact. Engage with English content, don't just consume it. Or, I started to engage with comments on English videos, and it really helped my writing.
And last, fluency. We have used this word before, but let's say it again because it is so important. Fluency means speaking easily and naturally without stopping too much to think. Speaking with a real person helps build fluency faster. Or fluency comes from practice, not from perfect grammar.
So, our words today: practice partner, language exchange, barrier, in the same boat, put yourself out there, engage, and fluency.
Choose one or two. Use them today, even just in your thoughts.
And remember, using a new word once is a small step. Using it 10 times makes it yours.
So use it 10 times, starting now.
Okay, let's bring everything together before we say goodbye.
Yes, we covered a lot today, but the heart of it is simple.
You don't need to wait for the perfect English friend to appear in your life. You can find your practice community if you take small steps towards it.
Small steps, not big leaps, just small, consistent steps.
Look around you. Someone nearby might already be your partner. Ask them.
Go online, a language exchange app, a Discord server, a YouTube comment section. The community is already there, waiting.
Use social media in English. Follow, comment, engage. One sentence at a time.
And when nobody is available, talk to yourself, narrate, rehearse, think in English.
Because the truth is, you are never completely alone in your English journey.
There are millions of people learning English right now, all over the world.
Some of them are sitting exactly where you are sitting, feeling exactly what you feel.
Thinking, I wish I had someone to practice with.
And the only thing between you and them is one hello.
One message, one comment, one question to a friend.
That's all, just one hello. Now it's your turn. We have one question for you today.
Where do you usually practice your English? Or where do you want to start?
Tell us in the comments. Maybe write, I want to try, and finish the sentence.
Because your comment might connect you with another listener who has the same plan. And just like that, you found your practice partner.
Right here, in the comments. It has happened before.
It really has. This community is full of kind, motivated English learners, just like you.
And if this episode was helpful, please like, subscribe to Beyond Words, and share it with one person who is also looking for an English practice partner.
Because maybe the person you share this with is the one.
The English practice soulmate.
Yes, your English soulmate. They're out there.
This was the Beyond Words podcast with Daniel and Jessica. Until next time, put yourself out there, say hello, and find your people.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye, take care, and good luck finding your English practice partner. We are rooting for you.